Hey, how you doing? This is part 2, learning, walking into your blessings and knowing that you can predict a better outcome goal by exaggerating on the goal itself. Whenever you want to create a goal, it is so important that you exaggerate to the measurement of the goal. The goal is beyond my reach, but as I measure the steps it takes to reach that goal, I now become more valuable to myself and to the goal itself. That once I achieve the goal, once I've reached the path in which the goal will lead me to where I should succeed in everything that I succeed, I should no longer have to fall to the point that I do not understand that I have to take this avenue to reach the goal. It is so important that you walk, and when you walk, you start to see the blessings before you. And even though you have obstacles, there are no obstacles. It's just grabbing what you need, thinking about what is the best for me. Because sometimes we make a quick decision and unable to move from that quick decision because we put ourselves in a predicament of not understanding there is a greater side of where I want to be. It can be better, but first I have to measure the steps. Think about what it takes to get there. First, it takes the process of your thinking, the process of knowing that even though I had to go from a lower perspective than most people would take to get to where they're at, it allowed me to get there in which the avenue it take many, in which many have spent in revenue, you have not spent, but you gained the same actual, even more revenue because you took the time to allow yourself to learn and process and thinking and observing and knowing what it is, whether it's personal or business that I want to grow. But first, let me exaggerate on the greater outcome. Because if I exaggerate on the greater, whatever outcome I have, it is greater than what I exaggerated on. There is still outcome because I exaggerated on the outcome, not to the audience or to the consumers or to the people, the lovers, the family, the friends, not to them, but to your greater being, and understanding that once I develop to a point that even though I'm at a step, the step is greater at the choices I make. It is not what one think of me, but as long as I'm measuring up to the step in which we're almost at that level and I'm here. You're reaching there, you're there, but I'm reaching because I allow myself to grow, not within you, but to grow with understanding what it takes by observation, whether your failures, whether the things that you say, whether you call them flaws, whether you take it, whether you receive it, it is better that you understand that it is greater value to exaggerate the existence of, because it's like a business plan or a plan to get married. You exaggerate on how much people you want to be at the wedding, or the business plan, you exaggerate on how much money you have, knowing you don't have that money, but to achieve that money, to achieve the amount of guests that you want, to achieve the money it's going to take to please the amount of guests, it exaggerated point. And from that exaggerated point, you punger on down, and then you break it down to the point in which I have this category or that category, category 1, 2, 3, or item 1, 2, 3, however you want to process it on paper or within yourself. It is the notion that you take note and knowing that it takes these steps for me to take little measure to gain, because if I don't take the little measure, who is taking the measurement of itself? So once I know the value of anything or itself or the things that I perceive to be an exaggeration of what I want to achieve, whether I achieve it or not, it is bigger to me because I exaggerated and I got to the point that I fought myself to getting to the existence of, and I'd allowed nothing to get in my way, whether it was knowing that I could not achieve it, but yet I was able to achieve greater more, because the greater more it was for me to be exaggerated of what I wanted. So it made me work harder for the things I wanted. But first I had to ponder from the bottom and measure it down to where I can get and start to roll up to where I am with my competition. And whether you see it in value, it is of value. It hasn't reached its value in notion and money, but you reach yours. But once the notion and money come in, along with what it took to build the foundation to gain, it can be an overnight, and you know it will be overnight because those are the process of what it takes for instant riches or instant change in one life. It changed overnight. One day you wake up and you no longer do this or that, whatever the goal is that you have achieved or you have gotten this or that. So know the greater value of what it takes to take time out and evaluate once again, and know that it takes for me to understand that within me, as long as I understand within me, the next person can say nothing about the value of what I perceive things to be. It is exaggerated to the extent, because when you run in a business plan, you exaggerate not just the amount, but you exaggerate on your mission, because it is within your plan in your heart to get that achievement state. And to exaggerate is only to put down in dreams and understanding that it is bigger than what it is, but it's how you perceive and take it in, rather than saying, oh, you exaggerated. That's not truly what it is. Because what you exaggerated could be what it is, but you exaggerate to the point. But who have used that measure or that word in that term, rather than say you exaggerate to the point of failure, but have you exaggerated to the point of gain? Because the word chosen can be used in many ways, in many forms, in many verbal ways and expression. And yet many seem to understand that we don't know how to verbally express ourselves. Yes, we do. But when we do our YouTube video, we understand that we sometimes go into a third world country in which they're learning English, or which they understand English to the point. So you want to slow down your tone until you reach your audience, so you're able to project to each audience that each one can grasp and understand. And then when you get to the point that you learn how to vast fastly in verbal approach, and it will come as each YouTuber learns to express themselves even more, you will begin to see the value of what it takes to quickly express yourself, whether by body movement, whether by verbal. It's up to you. There's two forms of expression that we do. It could be body or it could be verbal. So it is up to you to exaggerate a form. You can exaggerate in many ways on a business level, whether it be body or business form. Because it could be body or it could be verbal in a business form, because in business, we also do marketing and we use our body in marketing. Sometimes a person will stand there with a sign and not say anything and market that business, especially at the beginning, whether it's a grand opening sign or whatever. So people do not understand the concept. See how we take it in. Now you look at a grand opening sign much different. It's not just a grand opening sign. It is actually an exaggerated form. And this person has actually achieved the exaggerating form of having a grand opening. Because can you imagine when you start to exaggerate your life? Isn't that to the point that sometimes people say you're trying to head yourself closer to the Joneses? Sometimes you just exaggerate to the point of expression. This is what I want. This is who I am. This is what I'm going to accept. This is what I'm not going to accept. And even though I accept some of the things I'm not going to accept, it is on a learning process of change in me that allow me to build myself to the sense of knowing that I can talk rapidly. I can still express myself, and you get a full understanding and knowing it is the verbal expression, how we want to express ourselves, whether it be fast, whether it be slow. It is getting the point across and understanding each individual. How can you say, I want to achieve, but yet you don't know or understand the other achievement of another? So that's why I not also just look at those who achieve higher, but also those who achieve from the low standpoint. Whether it be the homeless that achieved when they were low, or somebody who had money, that silver spoon, that golden spoon, an exaggerated form of exaggeration. But each reach a level. And we all can reach that level. Are you exaggerated at that form? Until next time, be encouraged. Sit back. Take in, evaluate. Look at some goals. Exaggerate on them goals. Yes, I want to buy a car. What kind of car? A Honda? Why not a Honda sports car? One exaggerated out of price. Who knows what the exaggeration will leave you when you look and you research and you see how much it costs here, or maybe if I go overseas and buy it, it'll be cheaper. You don't know. One day you will find it, but have you exaggerated your life to that form? To understand, exaggerate can be used and expressed in many ways. How do you express yourself? Or is your life just simple, or do you exaggerate? Until next time, be with me. Understand, it is the encouragement that BS Discovered channel has greatly been encouraged to move from a lower level of understanding, even from my other YouTubers. If I can learn from you, I can learn from you. There's always a constructive criticism that is greater in creating form, creating an existence, creating a platform. The platform right now is YouTube. Until next time, be there, understand, have your snacks ready, sit back, be ready, and I'll be ready for you. I won't make that left turn. Peace out.